Like, and I thought the odds were ridiculous, by the way, but still, in the third round when he hit him with that combination, which was, by the way, an unbelievable combination, I thought, over. Not even close. He's going to step in, he's going to back him up, it's all over. And 9 times out of 10, it might have been.
He's always a good finisher when he's in it.
He's one of the best finishers out there. But he got caught with a shot, and the difference with Ruiz is there's not many heavyweights, there's not many fighters that would do what he did in that situation, which was go, okay, we're going to have a swing up here. If I'm going to get knocked clean out, I'm going to go out swinging. A lot would have just backed up on the ropes and
held on.
Yeah, and you know, and that was actually AJ's problem in the 7th round, is he started trading up again. And that's why he got stopped. I think he thought to himself, I ain't got much left in the tank here, so I need to have a go. So he stood his ground, started trading up, got caught again, and it was it.
Do you think in mind and the confidence Ruiz has shown, it doesn't look like he's going to be bothered by an 80,000 crowd in London or Cardiff?
No, but that's what I'm saying about him thinking, yeah, do this again, I'll beat him, and then I'll go on into these, you know, huge fights. So.
Do you think he's been fighting enough?
I did think that tonight actually when I sat down, in that, you know, it's quite difficult to jump back into the ring after being out for 8 months. I mean, he was supposed to fight in April. This opportunity presented itself. It's easy to say, you know, did go into Miami 5 weeks, but like, there's so many things you can look at. But all I can tell you is, at no point this week was anyone
thinking.
No, I mean, it was like he was confident. Backstage, quite nervous because again, new changing rooms, and he changed his. I don't know if you noticed, we were late to walk, and he went to walk and he said this protector's not great, so he changed that, and it was just a bit like again. But I mean, I'll tell you that changing a body protector is going to lose him the fight. But you know, it's a new environment. It was.
Is there a thought, Eddie, that he's got too many other things going on? Maybe he should just come back to being a boxer.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's another thing you can break.
He's looking for things to do, like
I know how hard he trains, you know, and I know what he puts into and what he invests into his training camp and his team. Like his team, you know, he does everything so right, Jeff. It's not like he's missing sessions and he's like going out. He don't do any of that. He's constantly trying to improve. That's why this will absolutely devastate him at the moment. And I do think, again, Callum Smith said to me, he said, it seemed like, I think there may be a little bit of relief that the pressure's gone now. Do you know what I mean? And I think he will come back stronger because I think there was so much pressure on him. I think a part of him might say, like I'm the challenger again. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, he'll be devastated that he's not the champion, but I do think the pressure is always on him. He's just a kid from Watford.
Is that because he became such an unexpected phenomenon?
Yeah, it's because he can't go anywhere without getting mobbed. He can't live a normal life, and that's still going to be the same. But at least now, he don't carry the burden of the unified world heavyweight champion, this and that. And I think he will go. He loves the sport. He loves to train. He loves to learn. And I think, like the reaction from in the ring, although he was definitely slightly concussed, was almost like, didn't quite. I got beaten by a better fighter tonight, and
Eddie,
damn it.
What do you make about his comments that Joshua could have continued?
I mean, I don't think he knew where he was. I mean, it's very easy to say, oh, well, what was he doing? He didn't know where he was. You know, he spat his gum shield out on the floor to try and probably get a little bit more time, or just didn't know where he was. Went back, he's trying to stand up. I mean, he could hardly stand up. So he was looking at the ref. He didn't say, I don't want to continue. The ref said, you okay? And he sort of, I mean, he got up. He said, yes, I'm okay. Yeah, but the fight was done. So again, I'd love to say it was an early stoppage. I'd love to say that, but ultimately, I mean, when the ref went no, he went, well, I'm all right. But it wasn't that he wasn't trying to continue. He just didn't really know where he was. And I mean, he was in the third round was one of the maddest rounds I've ever seen. I mean, it was just, I couldn't believe it. And I thought, I mean, 20 more seconds in that round, it's over. You know?
Do you think it's early pressure for Ruiz?
Sorry? Not really. He's never he will speak in the week and he'll say, what do you think about Ruiz? You know, he does this, he does that, and you know, we were speaking to Kevin Barry Joseph Parker's trainer about Ruiz, and he knew he was a threat. They're always no. I'd love to say yes. I don't. He's not an arrogant, confident. He knows there's always risk. You know, he said in an interview this week. He said, you know, there's a risk in every fight. He said, I'm risking fighting Andy Ruiz. I'd rather risk fighting Deontay Wilder because there is so much risk in this division, and he's learning. He's had 22 fights, so you know Ruiz probably has a better boxing IQ than AJ because of his experience, because of his amateur experience. I think he had 105 amateur fights, won 100 of them. Like he's a seasoned fighter. Josh is not a seasoned fighter, and sometimes when it goes wrong, it's hard to recover in that way.